Well, our feeling is that musical theatre is the most collaborative of art forms, and I don't think you can do a musical theatre festival if you're just focusing on songwriters and book-based musicals. I think that one of the things that got us also excited in musical theatre was dance, and the dancer was tap, was jazz, was big numbers. And we decided that it was very hard if you were a choreographer to submit yourself and get in the festival. So we thought we'd be proactive and create a series that highlighted the work of the choreographer and dancer. I think with everything in the festival, largely it's a leap of faith, because even the musicals we do, we really only know them on paper. And as we all know, so many things can go wrong with a musical from paper to the stage. Once you start bringing in so many other collaborators and things, it evolves into a different beast. And with the shows, the dance shows in the festival, we knew the work of the choreographers, and we knew that they had a great storytelling capabilities, and we thought it seemed like a really smart idea to show faith in these guys, to trust they would do something that really celebrates dance and musical theatre.
On Platforms, which is a piece that features 5 choreographers, including Mr. Jeff Shade here. And the piece, something that's really interesting, I'm Holly Ann, the director, and something that I've been finding really interesting about the process is that usually, working on a musical, the choreographers are kind of under the thumb of the director and the book writer, and it's as if we have this whole kind of structure created for them, and they have to just create to move that story along. But we've actually created this story based around the choreographers and their strengths and talents and what they have to bring first. So the story is completely coming out of what they have to bring and opportunities, which is wonderful. And Jeff, what is your first section been about?
Well, it was fun. About 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, we all sat in a room with Holly Ann and Linda Atwood and 4 other choreographers besides myself. I'm like, oh, what kind of dances are just driving to come out of you? And I said, I like creating tap pieces. I like to do contemporary choreography. So some mix in there, and then taking the ideas from the other choreographers and kind of mixing it together, Holly Ann and the writer, and coming up with this concept called Platforms. What I'm thankful about is to be in on the ground level of developing the musical, so that it's really dance driven, and the story is told through dance and very little words. To see this musical because it's an eclectic, powerful representation of life in New York from 5:30 p.m. till 8:30 a.m. It's everything you could experience in movement put into this musical, and it's an eclectic powerhouse. That's
Everybody you see when you walk down Broadway, they're all in this piece. So you're gonna feel like it's everything you're seeing every day to the power of 10. And really kind of amp everything that you'd want to be doing every day. So things that you've wanted to try on your own, or places that you've wanted to go, we're going to expose them in this piece, which is great.
So far, I've been working on Jeff Shade's choreography and Platforms. It's the park section. We're in Washington Square Park, and I'm the woman of the park, Sammy's girl. We've had a very dramatic past love story. We've been addicted to drugs together. We've gotten clean together. However, I've lapsed back into the darker side, and he's just disappointed in me.
It's about New York offering possibilities for young artists and young artists, meaning choreographers, directors, producers, performers, and by the way, I'm a young artist, to explore possibilities, you know what I mean? And that is what makes That is what makes New York special, and the New York Musical Theater Festival special. You have special young artists who want to give their time. I'm not giving my time. I am now looking for a house because they're paying me so much money to do this. But this, Monet, is the reason why this is important. Because of the newness of ideas and the newness of talent and a platform, pardon me, a platform to discover, explore, create, and allow for art to grow.
That introduces audiences to the age-old art form of step dance. Step dance originated back in the late 1800s in South Africa. There's evidence of it in South African gold mines, and there's a relationship to African gumboot dancing. In the United States, there's evidence of step as early back as the 1920s in black college fraternities and sororities. And they really use step as a language to communicate with each other and forge community. And so we've developed a piece that basically takes that universality of the language and presents it on stage in a narrative form. Our steppers use the dance to tell their own personal stories and also to introduce the audience to the history of step.
What I love about it, a big part of step is the call and response. It's the interacting with the audience. It's the steppers yelling at the audience and the audience yelling back at the steppers. So there's that immediate connection to it. And I also think that to an extent, step dance really hasn't had a life on stage.
No, it hasn't had a life on stage theatrically. It's pretty much been an underground major urban phenomenon, but it hasn't been brought to a major theatrical venue. And this is one of the first projects to do that.
As Maxine referenced, we wanted to talk about the connection between the art form and the history of African people and people of African descent. That piece, Listen Up, My Elbow Has Something to Say, we wanted to talk about the connection that our body parts have to cell memory and using the body parts to speak language that is often more powerful than words. We wanted to play around with the connection between the text and the movement. So a lot of what you'll see in the show is the interaction between actors, our readers, and between the dancers on stage. And sometimes the dancers will speak, sometimes the readers will speak for them, but we really wanted to explore that connection.
For a while to combine clowning and dance because we both sort of cross over into each other's worlds, I guess. And we've known each other for a while, but we just started working together this past year. We have another piece that we had done called Disco Magic, and this was the second piece we've been working on with our dancer Katie, who couldn't be here today, so I've stepped in for her.
We miss you, Katie.
We miss you, Katie. But it's a collaborative team effort between the three of us. And Mark started with the idea about a guitar, an air guitar lover that meets another and they fall in love. He's like, go. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just...
I guess I'm a theater clown, and I've been, dance really influences or affects me and it really inspires me. And it took me a long time to meet an amazing choreographer who understands comedy as well as Wendy does. So, man, it was like, okay, we got to put this piece together. You're the only person I know that can do this.
And the only person I know that can do this. That's the hard thing, is not only creating it, but also finding the right performers that can bridge between full-on acting and comedy and dance. Yeah.
some people call me a theater clown, you know, or a physical comedian, something like this. And the great thing about that is that there's no fourth wall. Do you know? So as a comedian, I go out there, and if someone's reacting, it's a gift to me, and I react to that. And you got to keep yourself open to that, and not be in this world like, oh, I'm in a jail with, hey, oh, we're in a jail, and there's not going to be any, you know what I mean? We can open up and
Be present.
be present.
Yeah.